Hello, biology support people. This is Tim Brennan. Just giving you a few thoughts about what this upcoming summative will be for my biology students and how you can support them. We're looking here at the Google Classroom. Right now, it's grayed out because things are scheduled to drop later this week, but soon students will have access to both the Exploring Diffusion summative document and this so-called lab report graphic organizer, which is meant to be a bit of scaffolding. Okay, so let me open up the Exploring Diffusion document. Okay, it says use the LRGO as a guide to create an outstanding CER in the form of a lab report. We've actually been working on this little segments at a time. I'll show you the parts in a few minutes, but uh, a lot of this has been previously done, or at least there were opportunities for the pieces to be previously done. Uh, there's not much here in this document, to be honest. It's a little bit of a prompt um, and a little bit of background information about like what the expected length might be and so forth. There's the rubric, and then there are multiple four-score options, any one of which could be used to move the work from proficient to distinguished. Only one, you don't have to do multiple. I guess the only thing you might want to know from a just a logistical point of view is that uh, this statement here that some pieces may have been completed in other documents, that other document is the Exploring Diffusion Step 1 document. Students have been putting things in there as kind of a little draft, if you will, and I'm asking them to bring in the things into this document that they think are the most important pieces to bring in. Okay, let me show you the lab report graphic organizer and give you some thoughts about what's going on there. So they have this as a handout as well. It is, of course, now posted on the Google Classroom, and you see there's a couple of introductory paragraphs, introduction and proposal. Then there's a methods paragraph, results and discussion, okay? And this is meant to be a scaffold, right? So there's a purpose of each section, and then there's some like, oh, maybe indicators, if you will. It says guiding questions or comments, but these are the kinds of things you might find in that paragraph, okay? Now, they have written or had a chance, again, I'll say that, oops, hang on. Sorry about that. Wasn't not sure quite what happened there. They've had a chance to write this introduction paragraph in class, and they've had a chance to write the proposal in class, and they've had a chance to generate a large amount of data in class so that they can have something to write about as results. Okay, so there's a lot that is previously done, and this is meant to be, like I said, scaffolding. Here's my biggest concern. My biggest concern is that sometimes something that we might consider to be scaffolding feels like it's just another complication for some of our students. And the scaffolding actually becomes this kind of, I don't know, thing that they wind up resenting or balking against and so on. So while there's a lot here, I want to empower you to like read the room and decide whether or not this is actually helpful or not. If not, I have a backup plan and I will share it with you in a moment. But I don't want to lose track of the fact that like this is the standard. I'm asking students to produce at least a paragraph for each of these sections, okay? And there's a lot of information about how to do that successfully, okay? So let me show you the backup plan. The lab report graphic organizer is going to be just too much and going to be a distractor rather than scaffolding, then here's what I would say is a minimum expectation for a 2. Can you get the student to state their question? They were to choose one of 9 questions from the Exploring Diffusion document, Step 1 document, and use the diffusion simulator to collect data. So can they state the question? Can they then show the data they collected and the graph that would be made from that data? in an effort to address that question? And then can they interpret that data and graph what does it say about the question? If a student can do that, if you can simplify it, if you think that that's what they need to like just move forward, I can say that if this is done reasonably well, we can get I can score it as a 2, and if it's done very well, it could be somewhere between a 2 and a 3. I don't think I can really call it proficient if it's not following that graphic organizer, because that's the standard this time around. But it could be a 2, a 2.3, or maybe even a 2.7. Okay, so I'm hopeful that this gives you some flexibility working with your students, with our students, and that this is a way for you to kind of make some progress. The due date is going to be Wednesday, October 19th, and I'll be introducing this at the beginning of this week on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. Okay, thanks very much.